Hello everybody, my name is Robert and this is Review Clue. Now, before we get started, this is a part 2 of my Peloton series. If you haven't seen part 1 and you want to know a little bit about the buying experience, then you can go ahead and do that up in the cards or down in the description below. Now, if you have seen that video, then welcome to part 2. Hello, how are you doing? So, the last part was, I think, 2 weeks ago, at which point we'd ordered the bike and it was due for delivery. We had our delivery date. We also had some shoes that we put the cleats onto and we had a look at, and we just had a look at the overall buying experience. Now, this delivery has come and gone. It happened last Thursday. I've had the bike for 10 days now. I'm just about to complete my 25th ride, and I think that alone shows you just how much value I'm getting out of this thing. So what today's video is going to be about is a little bit about that delivery experience, a little bit about the news surrounding Peloton and some new announcements, as well as looking at the bike itself, looking at that software, and just what I think of the experience overall after just 10 days of using the bike. Let's go ahead and get straight into it by talking delivery. Let's go. Okay, so delivery day came and it was with a company called Eps.2. Now, because of COVID, I wasn't expecting them to be able to come in and set this thing up, and I was expecting to have to drag this bike up 2 flights of stairs and set it all up myself. But delivery day came. In the morning they gave me a call and said, hey, we'll be with you in about an hour, which is nice. They gave me an hour's window of exactly when they would be. At which point they just parked up. I came down and they said, right, hi, where do you want this thing? I was like, I mean, if you want to take it upstairs, you can. Of which they did. They brought it upstairs, they placed it into the room for me, they set up the screen, and they did a really quick run through of everything that the bike can do. This was a really important and nice touch for me. This company has nothing to do with Peloton. The only thing that they do with Peloton is the deliveries. But these guys knew the bike inside and out. They knew everything about it. They knew everything about the new one, which is coming out, which I'll talk about in a minute. And it was just an incredible experience to have these guys who weren't affiliated technically with Peloton to know so much about the bike and really be able to give me an opportunity to set up the bike properly for me. So they sat there, they stood with me, and they made sure that the seat was far enough away, they made sure it was the correct height and everything. I cannot fault the experience of them bringing this thing in and setting it up. I was blown away. What I was also blown away by is the amount of accessories that I got with the bike. Now, I think there may have been a mix-up in my Peloton order. We did discuss this last time, how I ordered the family pack and then had to cancel it and bought the new one and such and such. It would appear they still delivered all of the accessories that came with the family pack, but for the price of the normal bike. This probably wouldn't normally happen, and I've got to thank Peloton for really coming through and delivering all of these accessories, even though I didn't pay for them. I feel kind of bad, but hey. So I've got it all in front of me here. Let's take a look. First thing is, of course, some weights. These are just £3 weights. They aren't heavy at all, but they're nice quality. They feel good in the hand, and they just hook right onto the back of the bike, which I'll show you in a minute. Let's take a look at this. So we got 2 heart rate sensors. These are heart rate sensors that attach to, obviously, your body. They go about here on the body. Now, I wasn't that sold on these. I wanted to keep using my Apple Watch because, I mean, I use my Apple Watch for everything anyway when it comes to fitness. Unfortunately, this current bike doesn't integrate directly with the watch. There is a way to do it through a third-party app, but having this was just convenient. It's really easy to just stick it on and go. You don't have to worry too much about having to set up the separate app and connect up the Apple Watch. So, nice touch. We also got 2 pairs of earbuds. These are just plug-in earbuds, Urban something. I'll put the actual name of them on screen. And they are, of course, tangled, because why wouldn't they be? I personally don't use them. I like to have my music playing out loud from the built-in speakers of the bike. But my partner uses them and she says they sound good. She's happy with the quality of them. So there you go. You get 2 pairs of earbuds as well there. A nice long cable that plugs in to the side. So this has a 3.5mm jack on the bike. So there's those. Oh, it actually says on it, Urban Ears. So these are urban ears. There you go. And finally, we do also get water bottles. These are glass water bottles with this kind of grippy texture around the outside. Really nice, high quality water bottles, but I have one issue with them. Try unscrewing this thing while you're riding on a bike. It's really hard to do. So you can try it if you want. They're really nice, and my partner uses them when she goes to work. I actually do use it on the bike, but I have to find that I have to really slow down my cadence in order to be able to open it, take a drink, put it down, and then set off again on the bike. But that's all the accessories that we got with it. Again, you probably won't get these unless you order the family bundle. I think they just messed up, and I'm glad they did, I guess. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is I'm obviously going to have to get changed because I'm really not in the correct outfit to take a ride on a bike. And I'll show you the bike itself, how it looks, setting it up and getting into a ride, as well as looking at the ride itself and obviously a little cool down afterwards. But before we go ahead and do that, let's talk Peloton news. This thing, it annoyed me slightly that a couple of days after I placed my first order, I wasn't a part of the community. I wasn't in on the Facebook pages and such. I didn't know that they had a new bike coming very, very soon. I ordered this bike. About 3 days later, I get news that the Bike Plus had been released. The Bike Plus is a quite big upgrade, actually, from the current bike. So I'm going to play you the video now that they kind of advertised it, just to show you what the differences are. So you get a much bigger screen. This screen can rotate 180 degrees in each direction, allowing you to do kind of floor workouts as well. These are especially important with boot camps and any kind of strength workout if you want to do those on the bike screen. There is Apple Watch integration. I think they call it Gym Kit. Just tap your watch up to it, it syncs up, and it will use your heart rate from your watch. That was a really big thing for me. So there's that. There is a new soundbar along the top of the screen, and apparently this is above and beyond any sound that you'll find on the current bike. The current bike is fine, it works, but if you want a really good listening experience, then the Bike Plus is the way to go. And there's also a new resistance knob, mainly because there is a follow mode now. So when you're riding on your bike and you're in a workout, you can click lock on your resistance, and then as the instructor says, okay, we're going to move from 30 to 40 resistance to 60 to 70 maybe, the bike will automatically add that resistance for you, so you don't have to touch your knob while you're on the bike. I'm really sorry, I had to get that joke in there somewhere. I spent all day thinking of that joke. Just humour me, alright? Like, subscribe down below if you thought that joke was funny, or if you're not childish like me, then still like and subscribe, please. Anyway, so that's what's new with the bike. This new bike is £400 more, or just under £400 more. It's completely up to you if you decide to go with this, but what did happen is with this new bike, the old bike, or the current original bike, went down in price. And again, I was like, oh, that's typical, isn't it? That's now £300 cheaper than it was before. But what Peloton did next really surprised me. If you were within your 30-day money-back guarantee window or your trial period, they actually just refunded £300. That's what they did. You got the new price if you'd ordered it 30 days before the new price drop. And I think it's rare that companies will do that. So that was really nice to see that they gave £300 back to us because we're on the current bike. They can also offer some kind of upgrade. So if I decide that I want the Bike Plus, which in my head I'm still toying with the idea, but I'll probably leave it just because it's a big old faff to change the bike. What they will do for you is if you call them up and say, I want to cancel my Peloton bike order and I want to order the Bike Plus, what they're going to do is they will coordinate with Eps.2 or Peloton themselves that they will pick up your current bike on the day of delivery of your Bike Plus. So you won't be without the bike, at which point that original bike will go back with them and you'll be refunded fully. And I think that's so cool. Like, that's a really nice touch that if you decide, actually, I'm within my 30-day period, I want the bike plus, they're just going to go ahead and do it for you. So cool. I think Peloton as a company have got it right. They really know how to treat their customers well. So that's the bike. They also released the tread. The tread is coming, I think pre-orders open on the 26th of December in the UK. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a treadmill. I don't have the space for a treadmill. I probably won't buy the treadmill. I don't like running. Running is not my thing. So it's there if you want it. It's quite a lot more expensive than the bike. Quite a lot more than the bike in terms of actual moving parts and everything. So you'd expect it to cost more. What's nice is if you have the bike already, you don't have to pay that membership again. You just buy the tread. So there we go. Bike, tread, really exciting, new products. That's cool. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is get changed into some workout gear, and we'll go and have a look at the bike, how it fits into my space, and do a really quick workout to show you just how much of a sweat I build up. Let's go. Okay, so here we are with the bike itself. As we can see, there is the screen up here. This is just a very large Android tablet. The screen size will be on the screen next to it there, and it is just an Android tablet, so got all our profiles there ready to go. We have the handles. The handlebars are strong and they have this really nice material on them, so you're not going to slip off. You've obviously got some place for your water bottles. You've got the spin disc on the front. There is a lovely resistance knob there. So if you twist that to the right, your resistance is going to get higher. If you twist it to the left, it's going to get lower. If you push it down, that is your emergency brake if you need it. We have the seat here. We've purchased an aftermarket gel pad for the seat because, my God, it hurts your butt. I would really suggest it. If you don't ride normally, then get one of those. It's really not comfortable on your butt. And on the back here is where your weights are going to go. And you've obviously got the pedals down here as well. So the important thing to note about the pedals is, as we noted last week, that they take very specific kinds of shoes. These ones in particular take Deltas. I think they're called Delta cleats. You can buy secondary pedals for them with cages and such, but that's completely up to you. I decided to stick with the Peloton shoes because, I mean, they weren't that much cheaper, and honestly, I just wanted something that worked. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is click into the seat here, and I'll show you how to do that. And then we'll go ahead and get started with a ride because I'm due one today, and today is my 25th ride as well. So exciting times. Let's go. Alrighty, now I'm comfortably settled in, let's go ahead and take a look at what we can do with the screen. I'm probably going to have to drop the nice sounding audio here. I will do some audio magic afterwards to make it sound a little bit better at least, because I need one hand free and one for the phone. So let's go ahead and do that now. Alright, so here we are on the screen. I'm going to obviously tap my profile because I'm the one who's riding today. So the first thing we're going to see is up in the top corner, my streak. I have a 4-week streak going and it says keep it up. We can see in the top right that there is a class coming up that I'm not going to be doing. And here is the home screen itself. So this is my favorite instructor. This is Sam. Sam Yo is an awesome instructor. He does mostly bike rides. He is based out of London, so he's one of the London instructors. So it tells me that there are 7 new classes of his. In the bottom corner here, we can, of course, change profiles. If my partner decides she wants to ride, then she can. And along the bottom, we have all the different options, from home, programs, classes, schedules, and such. Let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule. This is all of the live classes that are happening right now. We have a cycling schedule and we have a floor schedule. Floor schedule is for things like yoga, strength, and everything in between. So there's a ride coming up. We are well past that one. So there's a ride coming up at 2:30, which I could do, 3:15, and so on and so forth. These are all the different instructors. And if I want to join a ride, then I just hit count me in. I'm just gonna not count myself into that. So that is the schedule there. Let's go ahead and look at the classes though. This is the important bit. There are thousands and thousands of classes that are available on demand. Now, along the top we can see a couple of different things. So we can go by instructor, the length of the class, the type of music, the class type, subtitles, and whether they are weights or not. Now, I know what kind of music I like, so I tend to choose that kind of ride. I'm thinking today I want to do a Broadway ride. So what I can do is I can just go ahead and search. It brings up the keyboard. I can search Broadway. Done. And these are all of the classes that have Broadway in them. We can see that the heart rate monitor is just connected there, so I'm wearing it on my chest. It's just connected up. And I can just go ahead and choose one of the rides that I fancy. A 20-minute ride? Let's do a 30-minute Broadway ride with Jess King, maybe. And then when I'm ready to ride, all I need to do is press start, and then we're off. But let's take a look at something else first. My heart rate's disconnected. Let's take a look at the playlists as well. So this is something new. We can see an overall rating. So this is a 98.5% good rating. It's 8.1 in difficulty. And we can see the kinds of music that is in here. The Lion King, Defying Gravity, and 8.5 is tough. This is going to be a hard ride. But of course, I don't have to follow what they say. I'm going to go ahead and do this one. So we're going to hit start. It's going to ask me, do I want to connect up any Bluetooth headphones? I do not. Do I want to connect up my heart rate? We already have. And we can see my tags here. Tags are a cool feature that allows you to show off who you are. I have a Peloton newbie tag. So anyone who is new to Peloton will probably give themselves that tag. And then we can filter by tags on the leaderboard along the side. Let's go ahead and press start.
What's up, Peloton? My name is Leanne Hainsby. A massive warm welcome from London studio. We are live.
And there is our pedal resistance. And you can see that on the screen there. On the right is our resistance, on the left is our cadence, and in the middle is our output. What I'm going to go ahead and do is just finish this ride, and I'll get back to you at the end of how I got on. See in the top left, my heart rates and the heart rate zones. Along the top, how long the class I've been in and how long is left. And obviously, all of the leaderboards along the side here. This is all time. There is a riding in now feature, but there is nobody else riding this class right now. If there was, I could high-five people by tapping their icon, and that's just like a good job, and they can high-five me back. But let's go ahead, finish up this ride, and we'll talk about just how I got on with my Peloton and how I'm enjoying it. Alright, so that was a half-hour ride there, and I think the one thing that Peloton has taught me the most is that I'm not quite as fit as I remember being. That was one hell of a ride. And that's just it. There is such diversity on Peloton that you never really know what you're going to get. A rock ride might be lower resistance and cadence than a Broadway ride. That was actually one of the tougher ones that I've done. And what's really nice as well is if you go to your profile, which I will show you in 1 second, you can also see all of the stats about your ride, from calories burnt to your average cadence, how far you've gone. And all of this data pushes me further, I found. Like, if I see that maybe in my last 30-minute ride I outputted 150 kilojoules, I'm going to push for 160. And that's just it. Peloton pushes you. And there's this community behind it that I'm going to talk about in part 3 of this video, because I think with Peloton, you're not just buying the bike and all these rides, you're paying for the community, and that community is an incredible thing. I'm very hot, very sweaty, so I'm going to go have a shower, and then we'll sit down and talk about my experience over the last 10 days, whether I'm going to continue with this, because I've still got my 30-day period to return this thing, and just how far I've come in those 10 days. So let's go ahead and do that now. So I actually decided not to shower after that ride before doing this outro, because I feel like that's just a part of Peloton, you know. this sweat and this feeling of achievement is something that I've never felt before. Going to the gym, I used to go a lot, and I used to be a lot fitter than I am now. I used to be sort of 60 kilos, and now I'm in the 80s. I'm not as fit as I used to be. And for a 23-year-old, that's just funny, I know. But like 3 years ago, I was in my prime for fitness. I could do endurance. I could lift heavy. Now I'm finding that my endurance it's tough. But over these 10 days, I've really started to see a difference already in my output and in my endurance. Like, you saw my stats there. Each ride, I was getting stronger and stronger in terms of my outputs. I was hitting higher kilojoule outputs with every ride. And I don't see that stopping. I'm not going to lift up on this. I do 2 rides a day, maybe a 30-minute and a 10-minute. A 10-minute cool-down ride after a 30-minute high-endurance ride. If I can't get a ride in, I'll still have that Peloton app ready and I'll do a power walk to work. It is motivating me to push myself further than I've ever pushed myself before. And on that note, what do I think? Do I think it's worth that high price tag? Because let's not beat around the bush here. Peloton is not cheap. £40 a month and £1,800 for the bike right now, just over. Is it worth it? And I think it really comes down to you and how you ride, how you work out. If you're happy to work out on your terms and you have the motivation to get on that bike and do them, then I say do it. Because I've never experienced anything quite like this when I go to the gym. And having it just there is a big plus to me, because I work from home quite a lot. I still go to work every so often, 2 days a week. But being able to just wake up in the morning, jump on that bike, do 30, 40-minute workout, do work, and then after work I can decide whether I want to go for a walk, maybe do some strength training through the app, maybe do another ride. I don't have to walk 20 minutes to get to the gym, walk 20 minutes to get back, and it chews up a lot of my day getting to and from the gym, whereas I can complete a workout in that time just at home on this bike or through the Peloton app. And yeah, it's an incredible thing. It really is. But I think you have to be the right person for it. You have to have that individual motivation to push yourself and to really be the best you can be. And it's important to note as well that even though each of these instructors rides slightly differently and they will push you and they will suggest you resistance and cadence levels, you can ignore them. You're in the comfort of your own home. If they say 70 to 80 resistance and you can only hit 60, that's fine. You're pushing at your level, and that's a really nice thing. If I'm in a spin class, for instance, at a gym, I feel like I can't drop that down. I feel like I'm being judged and watched by everyone around me. But with the Peloton community, if I'm pushing myself to my limit, I'll still get high fives. I'll still get these congratulative messages afterwards. I'll still hit that leaderboard rank. And that's what's pushing me forwards. Knowing that I've got people in my corner, I have this leaderboard that I can push myself to get higher and higher and higher. So at the start of this journey, I was 85 kilos. I've been doing this for 10 days. I've not seen any real difference in my weight. But as I say, in terms of my actual strength and resistance, I'm seeing that difference. And I'm going to keep this bike. There is no question in my mind that I'm not keeping this thing. After 30 days, I'm going to drop back in with my third video to see if I've lost any weight and to talk about the community and the app behind Peloton, because at the end of the day, Peloton is only as good as you make it. If you make friends on this app and you push the people that you're friends with to push them further, they'll push you further, and you'll both reach your goals a lot quicker. Anyway, guys, I'm just blown away by how hot and sweaty I am. Like, I really need a shower right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this video here, and I'm going to say to you guys, if you're interested in grabbing a Peloton, bike, then in the description down below, there is my referral code. What this referral code will do is it will give you £100 off accessories. The shoes themselves are £120, so you could pick yourself up a £20 pair of shoes, or maybe some weights, water bottles, I don't know. And what that's going to do is that gives me £100 in Peloton apparel. The apparel is interesting. I've never been that bothered by it. He says wearing a Gymshark shirt. But the Peloton apparel, it will give me £100. I can buy into some of this lovely, lovely apparel. But yeah, let me know in the description down below. Have you got one of these? Do you enjoy it? How are you tempted to buy one? Just let me know. Anyway, guys, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and hit that bell notification icon as well. November and October are big months for me. Anyway, I've got the Oculus Quest 2 on pre-order. That's coming out in October. In November, I've got the Xbox Series X and the PS5 both on pre-order, and I'm going to have video unboxings, reviews, as much coverage as I can on the biggest tech of this year. And I honestly cannot wait to show it all to you, because I feel like we're going to hit a second lockdown soon here in the UK. Things are not looking great in terms of the virus. So maybe that will give me some more time to really invest in these videos. And I know you guys really enjoyed the last video on the Zen Buds. That's actually been one of my most successful videos to date. Anyway, my name's been Robert. This has been Review Clue, and I will catch you in the next one. Adios.